Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Girl Dad Show. Today is another Girl Dad Talk where I talk about my professional parenting journey in between amazing guest interviews with unbelievable executives, professionals, and entrepreneurs. And I get to share with you a little bit about what's been going on with me. I know we've had a lot of really great conversations over the last few weeks, and today is no different. As I really want to talk to you a little bit about the thing that's top of my mind right now, which is Valentine's Day is this week, although you're listening to it probably in a few weeks, so you will be hearing this later on after Valentine's Day. But I will be traveling quite a bit this week, and it's been a few months of really, really arduous and heavy work through the holidays and losing a lot of customers and having a lot of businesses be very impacted. I've been kind of circling around the corner of, just the economic recession Q4 and really spending a lot of time heads down, rebuilding my businesses, building a pipeline, launching Always On and my personal branding and kind of getting that all together. And things are starting to finally settle in and we're starting to get locked and loaded. And I have a bunch of travel now lining up. So there's a lot of travel this year. And this week, especially, I'm going to the Pool Expo in San Antonio for Blue Ocean. So we'll be traveling to San Antonio with the team. We're going to bring the full team, which is going to be really fun. I'm very excited about that because, I'm sorry, not the full team, but we're going to bring a lot more of the team with us this year. And bring the service managers, bring our director of operations. Chris and I will go. And we're going to get a really big Airbnb and be able to spend a lot of quality time with them. Also get them trained up on all the newest pool technologies and pool servicing processes and systems. And then I'm going to go to meet with some potential technology partners as well as potential financial partners. And so it's a very exciting conference for us, and it'll be really interesting for us to attend this year. One, because it's a culmination of a lot of things at this conference. There's a lot of really important meetings happening that we've been working on for over a year for Blue Ocean, and which is kind of funny to say because Blue Ocean's only 2 years old. But it's the culmination of a lot of work and thinking and strategizing. So I'm very excited to be headed there for this conference because we'll get a lot of answers to things that we've been working on for the last year plus on it. The second thing that I'm really excited about is just spending time with my team. So now that we've been in business for 2 years, we have a really good understanding of who our core people are. And we also have a good understanding of our business. We know it a lot better than we've ever known it. And I'm just super excited to spend some time with them and talk to them about the business, who they are, what they want out of it, what they think about the business, what they would like from the business, and also share with them a little bit about me and how I'm thinking about the business and how I want to build it, as well as how I want to grow it with them. And so it should be a very interesting experience and time to be able to get to spend time with them like that in a shared Airbnb and then go out to dinner and then go to conference together, because I don't think there's that much time that I've ever got to spend with our team. And I do cherish it and love it. Like I got to spend some time with the Honey and Hive team earlier this year. And then last year I spent some time with the Flipper team. And it's just so much fun to be able to like actually meet the people that, I own businesses in, for lack of better words, and just meet the teams doing the work. And it's just really gratifying. And I wish I had more time to just spend time with people because it is very, very fun for me. But it's been kind of a chaotic time. And then what I'm really excited about is right after that, after the pool conference and after these really big meetings and kind of the culmination and crescendoing to this really big meeting for everything that we've worked on for Blue Ocean, I'm actually headed off to Taiwan. And I'm going to Taiwan with Progressive Motion because we're going to work on a really unique and neat project together. And it's been a labor of love there as well, too. It's been 7 or 8 months of hard labor of strategizing and thinking and processing and building numbers and models and all sorts of stuff. But it culminates to a really, really cool kickoff meeting in Taiwan where we're going to meet with none other than Jeremy Lin. And we're going to share with him what we're working on and see if we can't share with him our idea and our passion and our growth trajectory and what we want to do. And so see if he's interested in joining us and talk to him about it and just gauge his feedback, right? And so it's good, really, really, again, a culmination of a lot of work, apexing all into this week. And so it's an incredible experience for me to be able to back have all of this travel slammed into 7 days. So 2 days in San Antonio and then 4 days in Taiwan, and then a little bit of lost time on either end for travel. But I'll be back after 7 days, which is crazy because I'll leave on Thursday and I'll be back on Thursday. And so I'll be going all the way around the world within 7 days for these basically two meetings. Which is kind of crazy, but that's kind of the way that it is, and that's where I'm headed to, and I'm very excited about it. I'm going to change the settings on my camera here because it keeps focusing in and out, so hopefully that'll fix it. And I think it did. Great. All right. So the second thing I want to talk to you guys about is some more travel. Sorry. Before I go into the thing, and then I got asked to speak at South by Southwest. So, well, not that. I mean, well, it is for South by Southwest, but it's just one of many things that South by Southwest does. So, very, very excited to stay in town, but just go to Austin early March to kick off a entrepreneur talk for some event that's sponsored by Dell for Startups, which is very exciting for me. I was originally pitched as a moderator, and then once I sent in my bio, they switched and asked me to be a speaker, which is super gratifying. And I'm very humbled and excited to be able to talk to several hundred entrepreneurs about startups and starting businesses, and should be a really fun time. I'm very excited about that. And then, funny enough, I actually just started the conversations to be a speaker at Cogax conference in May in LA. So I'm working on the details of that, and that I should be able to talk to even more startup founders about starting businesses and building tech companies. So I'm incredibly excited for all this travel. And it's going to be really fun because it's been a lot of heads down work the last 2 or 3 months trying to rebuild the companies that I own and I'm a part of, and get everything back on track. And so it's been very stressful, and it's been very hard on me emotionally and mentally and physically. And there's been quite a few, hardships that have gone through the last 4 or 5 months. But it seems like all that hard work and labor and time and thinking is starting to come to an apex, and we're finally going to start seeing some really big meetings and results coming over the next few months. But I share with you this travel experience, one, because I'm super excited about it and I can't stop thinking about it. It's incredible to be able to, talk to people about Blue Ocean and what we're building and how fast we're building it. It's one of the fastest growing full service companies. That's what we've been told. And it's growing really, really well. We've been told by many PE firms that it's one of the fastest growing full service companies. And we're building it very methodically as well. We haven't taken any outside funding. We've grown it organically and bootstrapped it. And we're going to be cash flow positive this year. And it's super exciting. It's just a very, very exciting business. And it's so wild how fast it's grown and how far we've come, even during the down market. And just a very exciting time. And then secondly, just really excited to meet Jeremy Lin. I don't know much about sports, but I do know about Jeremy Lin because of Linsanity and the fact that he's Asian and he really represented for the Asian community, playing basketball at the highest level, at that level of fame and quality, and really put a stamp in the world, actually, for the Asian American population. Oh, I'm sorry, just the Asian population in general, but just a really cool and notable guy. And I can't wait to meet him and just learn from him and pick his brain. And getting the opportunity to meet someone like that has made such a big difference and was the first of his peoples to break a ceiling is really, really exciting for me. The thing that I'm not excited about, though, is the traveling. I acquired a phobia after Lily was born. And so, in full vulnerability and transparency, especially for those of you that are not parents yet, I literally like that. I became claustrophobic as soon as Lily was born, I became claustrophobic, and it's like the worst claustrophobia ever. Well, it's not the worst ever. I mean, I can manage through it and work through it most of the time, but I do freak out. I panic really badly to the point where I won't even get on a plane anymore unless I'm sitting on an aisle seat. And I'll just wait for the next one. I'll miss my flight, or I'll have to upgrade or do whatever. But like, I will go out of my way to sit on an aisle seat. I literally can't do it. I mean, it's just so bad, my claustrophobia. And so um, it's just strange. I can't even ride roller coasters anymore, especially the ones that go over your shoulder and lock you in. I'm like even getting like anxiety just thinking about thinking about it right now. And it's so weird because I didn't really have any of these phobias until Lily was born, until I became a dad. The moment I became a dad, I started like having these anxieties and these fears, and it's so strange. And I don't know what the correlation is, and maybe it's a sense of responsibility. Maybe it's um, a sense of like, I don't know, duty, or I don't know what being a dad has created this phobia in me for, but it's absolutely real, and I'm not ashamed to tell it to you. It's something that I struggle with, and it's very recent. It's very, very obvious when it happened. It started happening, after I became a father, and so I don't know the correlation, but it's just it's very close to debilitating because I literally have to go out of my way to travel now. I can't just like sit in the middle seat, even if it's for an hour. I can't do it, and I'm really nervous about flying to Taiwan because I'm going to basically get on a plane for 4 hours to go to San Francisco. I have a layover for 2 or 3 hours, and then I have to get on a plane for 14 hours to get to Taiwan. And I'm already just like, oh God, it's a 22-hour travel day, and then like 18 of it's going to be in a plane. And I'm like sitting here wondering, do I break up my day and then do 4 hours and then hang out for a day with my family, and then, my family in San Francisco, and then go 14 hours, or do I just do it all at once? And then I'm like, is it going to make it any better? Is it going to stress me out even more? And then I'm like, and then the decision was made for me because I can't even spend time in Taiwan. It's such a crazy trip because I was actually trying to see if I could spend like a week or a week and a half there and try to even bring Lily with me. But Amy nixed that, and so I'm not bringing Lily with me. Unfortunately, that would have been awesome. Grace is too young to go with me, but Lily totally could have came. Except she would have struggled with the food a little bit, but that would have been so dope to have Lily with me. I couldn't talk my wife into it though. But I think that the amount of time I needed to get back to work and rebuild the business and start actualizing some of this pipeline that I built, and just a ton of BD efforts and getting all these businesses stabilized, are finally starting to come to fruition. And the choice was made for me that I couldn't stay and didn't have that luxury of time. And so inadvertently, I had to make the decision to make it a short trip. So I'm literally in Taiwan for 4 days. And one of those days is essentially half travel. So really 3 days. And I'm going for literally one meeting. And it's still going to be awesome. It'll still be worth it. But um, it's kind of crazy to think about, traveling 14 hours, I'm sorry, 20 hours each way, and then just for one meeting, and then having to come back just to make sure that all the things are still working and operating and going well. And it doesn't negate the fact that I'm still taking about 20 hours worth of meetings when I'm there. I'm just waking up at 4 or 5 a.m. and have it all timed out so that I can take those meetings and, in this time zone, but over there, and just wake up a little early. And it's just all part of it, right? And I just keep telling myself that um, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And it's going to be worth it because I put in the time and the effort and the sacrifice to build these assets and build these things. And so when people tell you that, building business is easy, don't believe them. It's super hard, and things go wrong all the time. And until you professionalize your business, and even then sometimes you are the last stop. You're the last person on the roster. And so you have to be the one that puts in the work. I mean, look at me right now. It's 9 o'clock at night and I'm recording this podcast because it was just a lower priority task for me over the last week or two. And now my team is telling me that if I don't get, 1 or 2 episodes out soon, we're going to be super delayed. And I have to make that call like, hey, money is more important than a podcast. But now I'm kind of going, wait, this podcast also like is something that I love and I care about. And I don't want to miss a beat either, because if you miss, long story short, this is a very delayed episode, but this me recording right now is a case in point, just the sacrifices that you have to make to build a business. And it's not always easy. It's definitely not convenient. And until it's really big and professionalized, you really are in it, and you have to do the inconvenient things that no one else will do or no one else will want to do. And quite honestly, most you can't really pay people in this day and market to do. The labor market is so tight and constricted. But I will say that if you do choose to start a business right now, it's one of the best times to start a business, I believe, because there's just so few people that are wanting to do service-based businesses. And there's so few people that are actually like putting in the time and effort to go do that extra mile right now, because, like I said, like the it's so hard to find labor right now. And so you're kind of in a interesting market where you can kind of dictate what you want as an employee. And so highly recommend being an employee. It's a great time to work. And I will also say it's also a really great time to start a business because there's so much needs in the market. But back to the point I'm trying to make. I'm super excited about traveling to Taiwan and San Antonio for these two really big, momentous meetings that I've been working towards for 6 to 9 months. I've been cranking it. A lot of it hinges on these two meetings, and I have no doubt in my mind that we'll be successful. I'm just very excited and incredibly pressure to perform. It's like the big game, right? Like 9 months of work for one meeting, and we're kind of headed into it back to back for two different projects that I've been laboring on for the last 9 months. But simultaneously, I'm combating my fears of traveling and just the phobias that I've obtained over the last 6 years of being a dad. I can't seem to kick it. And then just kind of battling through all the pressure of work and stress of being responsible for all the livelihood of all these people that I've accidentally, not accidentally, but I've employed. I was trying to do the math for it and trying to figure out how I directly impact all these people that work at all these businesses that I own, and there's like 70 people, and it's a lot of people that rely on this for their income. And it requires that I perform. It requires that I work hard. It requires that I dig deep and drive and keep pushing through it. And the thing that I keep thinking back to is my conversation with my dad on New Year's, and how he talked to me about the last recession and how he navigated his business through the last recession. And he gave me a punch list of things to watch out for, right? Like cash flow management, conserve cash at all costs, reduce your OPEX, renegotiate terms with vendors, renegotiate terms with clients for closer net payments, all the good rigor stuff, right? But at the end of it, he basically just told me, just survive. Don't worry about growing, just survive. And if you can grow, great. But the reality is surviving in the recession is awesome, because so many companies are going to go belly up during the recession that if you just survive, you will already have leaps and bounds ahead of the competition when the market starts to ratchet up. And that difference is all you need so that you can make a lot of money, get more market share, build a lot more revenue. And this time you'll know to pay down your debts, save money, do all the good rigor stuff. So that way, when the next recession hits, you can weather the storm a lot better. And it's very sage advice. And I'm doing everything that I can to just survive and maintain. And we're slowly turning that corner right now. And I'm really hoping this week ends really strong. But that's basically what I have to share with you. Second thing I want to talk to you guys about, separate from traveling and kind of what I'm working on this week with the big trips and meeting Jeremy Lin. Can't wait to meet him. Is we've been doing a lot of planning for what we want to do this year. And there's two things that I want to share with you, and I'll talk to you some more at a future Girl Dad Talk about both of these things. But today I'll just give you a little teaser about what's going to happen at the next Girl Dad Talk. One is I'm fully bought into gardening. Amy's been a gardener her entire life, and she's been dabbling since we moved here. We have a lot of land in our backyard now. We have a lot of space. We have this huge space for gardening, and she's been gardening a lot more last year. And this year we're going to, really build out an area, and we built some really beautiful raised beds out of oak, and it's gorgeous and it's awesome, and they're massive. So we have 3 of them, and we're going to start gardening together. And I'm going to help her. I'm going to help her do it because this last weekend, I've been helping her here and there throughout, but it's been really interesting to see how Grace is growing up gardening. She's like nurturing these carrots and these vegetables, and she's learning discipline, and she's learning patience, and she's learning delayed gratification. But she's also learning about health, and so now she eats carrots in her food, which was a hard thing to do for her. And I'm just thinking, like, man, isn't that what we want to be doing with our children, is teaching them delayed gratification, how to be steady and consistent. And so there's a lot of like things that I'm realizing I really like about the aspects of gardening, and then the time spent outside together as a family. And so I'm going to unpack this more a little bit in my thesis and kind of what I'm thinking through next Girl Dad Talk. And the second thing I want to talk to you guys about is this new company called Boundless Life. So Jeremy Lin, who was a podcast guest in season 1, I believe, reconnected. We reconnected and did a catch-up call the other week, and he's now on this excursion. He's doing like a semi-compound communal living thing. And so this company called Boundless Life owns 4 properties in different parts of the world, and they have cohorts where you live there with other families for 3 months at a time. And then they give you housing, a co-working space, and Montessori style school for your kids. And then you get to basically immerse yourself into that country and into that community with I think 10 other families. And I've just like nonstop been researching this, and I can't wait to explore it because I've been super fascinated with communal living and building that ecosystem where you live with different families of like-minded values. But I feel like this one is a way to do that without going full in. This is a way that we can like dabble into it and do it partially, right? So like 3 months at a time. They have a 1-month immersion program as well. So we do 1 month or 3 months. But I'm doing a ton of research, just like everything in life. I kind of research way too much, and I'm going to interview Jeremy about it, understand his experience, talk to one of the salespeople, read some more, discovery some more, do some more discovery and research, and I'd love to share more with you about what I'm thinking about and how I found it, and possibly partake in a 1-month excursion this year in July when it's absolutely horrible here in Texas to live and you can't breathe. So that's kind of a goal for mine this year. And so I'll tell you a little bit more about the next Girl Dad Talk. But for today, that is it. That's my update. That's me on my professional parenting journey, what's on my mind, what I'm thinking about, how I'm thinking about it. And please, please, please wish me luck on my 2 big meetings this week, and wish me luck on a safe trip and travel where I don't lose my mind and get too claustrophobic in the 14-hour flight. And I thank you so much for tuning in and listening to the Girl Dad Show. It is so incredibly gratifying and humbling to meet people, bump into people, reconnect with people, and have people tell me they enjoy the show, or pinpoint an episode and ask me a deeper question. And it's just such a labor of love. It's such a labor of love. And I do love it for myself because it's so therapeutic to talk to you like this, and it's like live video journaling. So it's a really good experience, but it's a lot of work, and it's a big commitment to keep doing these things. And even though it's not, super big yet, I do feel like I have enough people constantly telling me that they listen or asking me about certain things, about certain episodes that, you know, give me a lot of push. And I just want to thank you. I just bumped into, hang out with a fellow business owner, a friend this last Saturday, and he was talking to me about one of my episodes, and we broke it down and had a really great dinner conversation about it. And just very, very humbling and gratifying to know that people are tuning in and listening. So thank you so much for all of your support. If you can, please like and subscribe the show on whatever platform you're listening to. Leave a review. It helps me so much, and it really helps me grow the show so that I can actually start to figure out how to grow this thing and build it up. But thank you again for tuning into the Girl Dad Show, and I hope you enjoy the interview next week. And we'll talk some more about the semi-communal living thing I found, plus gardening at the next Girl Dad Talk. Talk to you soon. Bye now.